hello, hello. Welcome back to the Elyse DeLucci Show, episode 78, and we're here in my apartment on the Upper East Side. How are you doing? I miss talking to all of you. I just got home. I did a couple of shows tonight. One at the comic strip on the Upper East Side. It's a great club. And then the other one, my friend Sheba Mason, she's Jackie Mason, the famous Jewish Borscht Belt comic. She has a room at a place called Three Monkeys. She does it every night. She's so dedicated to this room, so I go up there a lot. It's a bar, but there's an outdoor roof, private area, and she gets, honestly, amazing comics. All the comics from the Comedy Cellar, they're always going there doing stuff. So anyway, I did the comic strip, I did Sheba's room, and I feel great. Fact of the day. 2 billion birthday cards are sent every year in the USA. Do you know why I'm telling you that fact? Because it's my birthday this weekend. I know, like, who gives a freaking shit about your birthday after you have kids, right? Isn't that something? You know, you really just get ripped off. I mean, I was telling this to my boyfriend, as you know, who does not have kids. I told him, I'm like, baby doll. I'm like, honestly, like, when you have kids, birthdays don't really matter. Holidays don't really matter. Like, it's all about your kids. In fact, I went up to Spanish Harlem, El Barrio, the other day, and I was buying them, like, little crayons and, I don't know, frozen coloring books and some keychains for their backpacks to give them on my birthday, because it's like, I don't know. They make my life so much better. That's the only gift I need. Don't get me wrong. I'd love a diamond tennis bracelet, and lots of things like that. But for the sake of being a normal person, they're the only things I need. But, it's like, I don't know. While I'm saying that birthdays don't matter, one of my girlfriends said to me that that's ridiculous. And she said, yes, the holidays, Easter and Christmas and even the little holiday, St. Patrick's Day, that's all about the kids. But you, as the mother, you get that 1 day or 2 days, Mother's Day, your birthday, and I should enjoy it. And, I guess she's right. But when you're divorced also, if you're divorced and listening to this, it's difficult, because it's not like you have a husband to make a giant fuss over your birthday, a husband that's going to, have the kids make all these cards or do all these, like, adorable things for you. You're kind of on your own. I mean, yes, I have a boyfriend, but that's not, it's completely different. It's completely different. So we are going to Atlantic City just for an overnight. And then, on the actual day, I'm going to spend it with my daughters and, go out to dinner somewhere and have a cake, and I have little gifts for them, and it'll be nice. It'll be nice. It's not the big 40. That's not the birthday that I'm celebrating this year. But I feel like I'm pushing 40, and I'm a little depressed about it. Let me tell you, I really wasn't planning on talking about this, but I always wanted to have 3 kids. Okay, I have 2, obviously, as you know, and it's like, I never really thought, I just always thought I was going to have 3 kids. And I never really thought, like, I'm not going to have, air quotes, enough time. Or I should say, I never thought I'm going to run out of time. I just never thought like that. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to have a 3rd baby one day. I would love to. That was always, like, sort of my plan. And obviously life doesn't go according to the plan as I got divorced. But I still do, like, yearn for that 3rd baby. And, at my age, not that I can't do it. I mean, in Manhattan, most women are having their first babies when they're, 42, 43. Whether that's defying science, that's just how it goes here. All of my daughters' friends, I am by far the youngest mother in the group. Like, most of the mothers, they're at least, 8, 7, 8, 10 years older than me. So anyway, I'm not saying, I feel like I'm getting old to have another baby, but it's just, if you're a woman and listening to this, or if you're a guy and listening to this, it's like, I've already done the diapers. I already did, the preschool, the nursery, the mommy and me yogas and all that stuff. And I love the idea of going back and doing it again. But I think that logistically, it probably would be hard with my daughters at the ages that they currently are. So, and that's only going to get increased, right, as time goes on. Also, my boyfriend, he's older. I love him, but he's older, and he doesn't have kids. But my ex-husband is such an active dad. He was so hands-on when they were babies. He's still ridiculously active. So, I would need that same situation. Anyway, rant over. You know what someone told me, speaking of birthdays, is they're like, oh, is it your golden birthday? I said, what the hell's a golden birthday? I didn't know that was a thing. A golden birthday is apparently when you turn the age on the day. I'm like, no, it's not my golden birthday. My golden birthday was like, I don't even know, like 12 years ago. No, and I missed the memo. Nobody told me about that. What was I getting on my golden birthday? Gold jewelry didn't happen. Extra Lux didn't happen. I thought about, usually every year I buy myself a little something for my birthday. I thought about what I want, and I usually buy something, fancy for myself. I treat myself to something really nice. But this year, again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just really overwhelmed with the kids back in school and school being on and my full-time schedule and stand-up. I do all that. I don't know. I haven't thought of really, I don't know. It's not just really my priority, I guess. What I did write down, I'm looking at a little Post-it note that I put on my fridge. I do want an indoor herb garden. Is that silly? I want that. You know how many times I'm trying to grow herbs in this goddamn apartment and I can't even grow a freaking mini cherry tomato plant? I mean, my apartment's not that sunny, but I think I want to get one of these hydroponic gardens. I think I'm going to get that. I'm also taking myself to the spa. I was going to, tomorrow, I was going to go to, I really wanted to go to the Shibui Spa. I don't know if you've ever been here. If you are in New York, if you're planning to come to New York, it's like ridiculously extravagant, but it's fabulous. In the Greenwich Hotel in Tribeca, that's Robert De Niro's place, there's a Japanese spa. It's called the Shibui Spa, and it's amazing. It's just like very zen. They have beautiful pools. It's great. It's amazing. Of course, I tried to make an appointment today, and they're like, oh, we take appointments a month in advance. It's like, you want to know what? I don't even need to come to your spa. Anyway, but I'm going to the Great Jones Spa, which I've been to a bunch of times, but and it's really nice. It's down on Great Jones Street in NoHo, so that's my treats. That's what I'm doing. I keep mentioning, I think the last podcast I mentioned it too. I do have this show out in Philly, in Royersford, Pennsylvania. That's, I don't know, like 20 miles outside of Philadelphia. But it's at Soul Joel's Comedy Club. I would love if you told any of your friends in that area, South Jersey, Philly. I would love if you told your friends to come out and see me. Or, of course, if you're there to come see, it's going to be great. I just booked the rest of the acts. It's myself, Wally Collins, who's hilarious. He has been all over the place on Comedy Central, Netflix, The Late Show, and also really funny comic Troy Bond. He wrote a television show called television pilot called Wise Guys, and I'm in it. And he's just a really, really funny comic and host, so he'll be hosting the show. So if you're there, come on out. And the only other stand-up related thing I'm going to say is that I'm also going to be in LA at the end of November. So again, if you're in LA, I'm going to post my schedule when I get it, but that'll be super fun. It's going to be cool for me as a New York comic to go out to LA. I've been out to LA and did comedy before the pandemic, before the closures, but it is going to be a great experience because LA comics are very different than us New York comics. LA comics, a lot of them, they're comedians, they're actors, maybe they're doing pottery on the side, they're yoga teachers, and they're waiters, at the local bar. Like, whereas in New York, and maybe they're doing like 1 or 2 spots a week or something. In New York, where we are comics, there's stand-up, people come to Manhattan to get great at stand-up comedy because there's a grind, there's multiple shows going on every night. There's lots of clubs. You could get around the city really fast, and people are serious here. They get good here. And then we're not also spreading ourselves too thin between running 2 auditions for a Tide commercial and trying to also be a comic. You know what I'm saying? So I want to tell you something that I read, dying to get your opinion. So I read the New York Times, and that's like a little luxury I have. I have the subscription to the Weekend Times. I love it, and I've loved it for years. And every Sunday in the New York Times, the New York Times Magazine is there, and there's a column that I love, and it's called The Ethicist. And basically, it's like a glorified Dear Abby, maybe a smarter Dear Abby. And I'm not knocking Dear Abby. I love Dear Abby, but it's basically people write in to this guy, Kwame. I think his name is Kwame Anthony Appiah. That's his name. And people write into him. I think he's a doctor, PhD, something like that. People write into him and they ask him, etiquette questions or ethical questions, I guess, because it's called The Ethicist. And, and he writes back. And there was a question this weekend that I usually agree with his advice. I did not agree with his advice. So the question is, my colleague is secretly holding 2 full-time jobs. Should I expose her? And the girl who wrote in to Kwame said that there was a position open. She's working for this company, and there's been a position opened, and she recommended one of her friends because she's perfect for the job. She has the skill set. She's competent, the whole thing. And the friend did the interview. They loved her. They hired her. And then the friend started working at this company, and everybody's remote, by the way, right now. I think they said the company's in like health tech or something like that. So this friend starts working at the company, and the friend mentions to the girl who wrote in, that she has another full-time job. And don't worry, she can handle it because with working remote and, blah, blah, blah. And now here's the thing. The ethicist wrote back. And the writing little girl, obviously the one who wrote in, says she wants to rat her friends out. Ridiculous, in my opinion. Absolutely. It's not any effing business. But so Kwame, he's answering this thing, very lengthy answer, and he says it's outrageous, and she should not have 2 jobs, and you need to protect yourself. You recommended her for the job. If they find out that she has 2 jobs, this is a reflection on you. And he goes on and on and on. And he's also mentions there's reputational risk. The fact that you are also associated with somebody that's doing something duplicitous is going to ruin your reputation. And so he said, not only should you tell the boss, whoever, the department head, that this girl has 2 jobs and she's, being a weasel. But they said he also said you don't even have to feel obligated to tell her. Because I think the friend at one point said, listen, I think you should tell the boss about the job. And I think the friend said, no. Anyway, what do you think about this? What do you think? Because let me tell you something. What I think that this girl who wrote the article in should mind her own effing business. Okay, see, this is the thing. I feel like a lot of you, we're Italian, we come from similar backgrounds. You see, us Italian people, we talk, we like to chit-chat, cacchiatone, the whole thing. But you know what? We also realize the importance of keeping things quiet and just keeping to yourself. If I, at my current job, recommended one of my friends to get a job at the place, and I sung her praises and put the resume in the boss's hands, and if she got that job, great, I'd be so happy. But if she turns around and she tells me that she has another job, I might say to her, look, that's not cool. Because now we all know when you apply for a job, you get a job, they say you have to legally disclose if you are having any other job, at a corporation. So I would maybe say to my friend, listen, like, that's not cool. Like, what, did you lie on your job application? Would you lie during the interview? Like, that's not a cool thing. But that's where I would stop. I would stop there. It is none of my business to get involved. Because you know what? If this girl was such a good friend of mine, I would know that she was maybe duplicitous in all the areas of her life. And you know what? You also don't know. Here's the thing that bothers me. That this Kwame didn't even bother to touch. You don't know what people are going through, okay? For all he knows, and for all this girl writing in, this one with the 2 jobs could be really struggling to make ends meet. You never know. It's COVID times. She could be underwater. She could have debt. You have no idea. And yes, again, it's a lie. It's unethical, aka the ethicist. But I got news for you. the ethicist. You know what? I think you should also tell people that they should just keep to themselves because you just never know how bad something could be for somebody else. And by the way, to the girl that does have 2 jobs, you're a fucking idiot. Honestly, because why are you even going around parading that information? What, like you want people to know that you have 2 salaries? What, does that make you feel good? Like you're lying. You're lying on your things. You know, you're probably going to have to answer some questions at the end of the year to your accountant as to why you have 2 full-time corporate jobs and probably signed employee handbooks, all kinds of nonsense. But I just didn't agree with that advice. I was kind of disappointed. I found the advice to be really insensitive. So I'm curious to know what you think. But that's my 2 cents on it. You know what happened to me yesterday? Let me tell you. I went on the Upper West Side to go to Home Goods because I need to get some more fall decorations, which, by the way, that place is like freaking barren land. I couldn't even find any Ray Dunn in there. I mean, it's like, you know, in Manhattan, everything's so damn expensive, as you know. So when you go hit up a place like Home Goods, it's ransacked. The first day they get shipment, everything's gone. It's literally empty shelves. You thought that the toilet paper, the paper towel shortage was enough? You've never seen Manhattan Home Goods, okay? Let me tell you. So I wanted to go get some fall decorations, not because I want to ship my house up with all little signs and bowls and tchotchkes that are going to break and chip that are all made in China. Nothing against China, but we know sometimes it's not the most quality in terms of lasting. So anyway, when it costs, 50 cents. So I went into Home Goods. It's very important to me to decorate for the holidays because I grew up in a house my mom decorated for everything. Not over crazy decorated, but decorated for everything. Decorated enough to make me know that we're going to make a big deal out of this holiday, And I really grew up with holidays and celebrations being a big deal. My ex-husband, British, they don't make a big deal. I mean, I would be surprised if this guy had a pumpkin in his house. My babysitters, Jehovah, they don't celebrate. And then I got a boyfriend who, I don't even know. He doesn't get excited about anything. So maybe I'm picking these people. Maybe I should be talking to my shrink about this. But they didn't have anything fine. So after Home Goods, I went down a few stores to Whole Foods to get some little mums or something I could put in the window. Fine, cute. Well, I'm standing at the register at Whole Foods. I did a little video on this. I'm standing at register at Whole Foods, and they have the multiple lines. It's my turn to go next to pay. There's 25 registers, all open, all the register, the cashiers, they see what's going on. And all of a sudden, this big, tall man in kind of shabby clothes starts stamping all about, flailing his arms, screaming, slurring his speech. He wasn't drunk. He was mentally unwell. And and on either side of me, I'm standing where the magazine racks are. On either side of me are these big, tall canisters, displays of hand wipes, sanitizer wipes, like big canisters of them on top of the magazine wraps. And he takes his arm and he just does shoo, and knocks them all down. It goes into my wagon. The cans hit me. It scared the absolute life out of me. I jumped. I didn't even know what to do. It was like I immediately froze. And then the guy, he stamped away, he's screaming, yelling. And there was mess everywhere. The plants in my wagon were all fucked up. So anyway, he goes away. And then he comes right back. 3 minutes later, does it again on the other side. Not one cashier says anything. No one came over and said, are you okay to me? But there's security at the door. I saw security at the sliding door. How are these people not doing anything? I think everybody is just so scared to make a move, especially in Manhattan. So scared to make a move. It's like cops, they don't want to do their jobs. It's like the employees in stores and stuff don't want to work because, I don't know, maybe they feel like they're getting a short end of a stick. They're not working home. They're not working from home. I don't know what it is. People are struggling. People are desperate. The homeless population is just outrageous in this city, outrageous right now, and it's really scary. It's really scary. This was right at the evening, right after work, right in the evening, early evening. It was bright daylight out at 5:15 or 5:30 or something, and I don't know. I really don't know. When you're in these situations, By the way, I'm walking. I'm taking you with me. I'm walking to my fridge to get a seltzer because I didn't set one up. Isn't technology amazing? I mean, I'm doing a podcast. You're listening in your car or, you're home, and I'm just walking around my computer, going in the fridge. But, anyway, I see, now I lost my train of thought. This is what I'm talking about, having a kid. I'm pushing 40. I can't even remember what the hell I'm saying. I don't know. It's just really scary times. I told my ex-husband what happened. He was very sweet. He was like, you could call me at any time, But it really just makes you think, when you get into altercations with somebody, you're like, oh, I wish I said that. Or like, oh, I would have handled that differently. Job interview's over, and you're like, I should have told them that. I should have told them I did that. Habits half the humanity. In that moment, I didn't know how to react. I was just so startled. This big, giant, kind of scary man just flung, 60 canisters of wipes on me and my wagon and all over the floor everywhere. I didn't know what to do. But what would I do even if I was to react? Because you're dealing with somebody that's unstable, I don't know. It's scary times. I don't know if I told you this a few weeks ago. There's a comic who I've met her a few times. She's a very sweet girl. She was walking home after a show at midnight or like after midnight, all the way up on the up west side. I think like Hamilton Heights, and she was attacked from behind. She's okay, but basically she was, and this is, keep your eyes open. I mean, I'm sure, you know this, of course, but it was a big reminder for me. She was on her phone, walking on her phone, I think keeping her head down. She might have had her headphones in. Somebody came behind her. Can you imagine how fucking scary this is? Came up behind her, put her in a headlock, and she literally took her thumb and put it in his eyeballs and wrestled him and started screaming and yelling, biting him, and then he got away. And she posted on her Facebook. That's how I know about it. And I wrote to her, oh my God, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. I hope you're okay. I thanked her for just giving everybody a freaking reminder, because we do walk around on our phones all the time. We do walk around with our headphones on, and I don't, knock on wood, or I don't even have any wood around here. Where's the wood around here? I mean, I don't really do that at night, but I do look at my phone sometimes when I'm walking at night, and that's really dangerous. Anywho, so speaking of danger, I'm home the other night, a rare night of being home without kids. Because let me say, when my kids are home, I am home. Sometimes I go out and I'm doing spots after they go to sleep, and my babysitter will stay. But when they're not home, I am out doing stand-up, because that's, my time. So the other day, I'm home. I put on the television, and I see this show on Netflix. I totally recommend, about a wife killer, because, that's what we like to watch. Crime shows. And what better thing to watch when you're home alone at 11 p.m. And have nothing else to do? I could have watched a beautiful romantic story, or, I don't know, maybe even a comedy special. But you know what? Nah, screw it. I want to hear about murder. A wife murdering her husband. It's a Netflix true crime show about this woman, Brazilian woman, Elyse Matsunaga. And it's insane. I'm not telling you the story. You just have to watch it. It's insane. Just go into Netflix and type in Eliza, Eliza. It should come up. Matsunaga. She married the heir to a Japanese food company, and she killed her husband. And the whole show is about her talking about the crime, why she did it, how she did it. And then it's also hearing from the lawyers, his lawyers, her deceased husband's lawyers, his family's lawyers, kind of poking, showing the holes and flaws in her story. But the thing is, the reason why I thought it was so good is because you would never, ever believe that this woman was capable of this. I'm telling you right now, this girl, look, you got to watch the show, but this woman, she literally looks like someone you would see at the soccer field, playing, at the kids' soccer game. This is somebody you'd have a cup of coffee with. She looks so normal. And, it's funny because there's like some of these killers like Ted Bundy, and he's very, buttoned up and suited up and everything's so pristine, and he's a handsome guy. And there's like... It's almost like there's an eeriness to him, right? Or he like looks a little. This girl, there's nothing that's strange about her. Even the way she talks, she talks in a really soft voice, but not like in a creepy soft voice like that. Like I just sounds like a Chucky doll, like not like a Chucky doll. Like she sounds like a normal girl, in a soft voice. And even how she's sitting, in the courtroom, you see her sitting and she's just sort of like perched in a chair, not dramatic. And she's telling the story so matter of fact, like, but in an emotional way. Some people talk very matter of fact. You're like, are you hollow on the inside? But it's just, I just found the show. I honestly found the show riveting. I feel like I like to only use that term for like Broadway shows, but like a really great one. But this was good. I got to be honest with you. Anyway. Oh, life, just life. This girl, I mean, I can't tell you. I just can't tell you the story. But she had everything she could have wanted. I mean, like, she didn't work, the husband, billionaire. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, and I could tell you this part. He cheated on her. So, that, like, apparently, that's what she said sparked it. You know what? Let him cheat. Just let him cheat. Go. Who cares? Just go. You know what you should do? Go on your super yacht. Go around the world on your super yacht while your husband's cheating. I know. I mean, like, do I have a jaded view on things? Does that sound terrible? I'm just like, but you know what you should do? You know what you should do instead of that? You should murder him. That's what you should. I mean, get the hell out of here. Anyway, I have this book that I've been looking at, and it's my product of the week. I'm getting up to get it because I want to give you the author. I know the name of it, but I want to give you the author. It was a New York Times bestseller. It's such a nice gift for Christmas for somebody like a girlfriend that's working, or someone that got a promotion, or your daughter. Somebody, whatever. It's the book is called In the Company of Women. And it's inspiration and advice from over 100 women, whether they're big executives in jobs, corporations, or entrepreneurs, or they're artists, or they're actors, whatever. It's a compilation. It's a hardcover book, and it's by a girl by the name of Grace Bonney, Bonney. Check it out online. I have it. Let me tell you why I love it. First of all, it's a great coffee table book. It's not a huge book, but it's a great hardcover coffee table book. The other thing is that it's regular girls. Like, all these girls are at the top of their game, don't get me wrong. Who's, a fashion designer, who owns, a yoga studio in Brooklyn. But it's not like fashion. It's not like Diane von Furstenberg is in the book. It's not like the founder of some giant conglomerate of a yoga studio. It's real women that could be your friends, your neighbors, whatever. And I just love it. I love it. And the reason why I pulled it out of my bookshelf, because I got it a few years ago, is because I'm doing I had a couple of opportunities for interviews recently, which were really nice. They're not published yet. When they are published, I'll share them with you. But they're called, both of them have the similar beat. It's called From Corporate to Comedy. And they are like women's websites. And, a couple of them, they reached out to me and they asked me to do, to talk about this. And of course, I was more than happy to. I've always mentored girls, younger girls. I always was a big proponent of interns and people moving up. And even you guys, I mean, I know some of you reach out to me and ask me questions and that kind of stuff about jobs and career And I really, really am very passionate about women in business or in whatever vocation, whatever path they are. I'm very passionate about successful women, no matter your age, your color, your socioeconomic status. I really am. So anyway, this is a great book, and that's my product of the week. It's not a sexy product, but that's it. The other product that I want to mention today, I don't know if you tried this. I'm desperate. I was desperate for new sheets, new bedding. And I wanted like something like not crazy expensive. And I like Cuddle Down, I think I talked about that a couple weeks ago. But I just bought, I'll let you know how it is, Parachute. Parachute? So there's Brooklinen online, a sheet company, and then Parachute. And they compete against each other. And Brooklinen has like thousands, tens of thousands of reviews. People love it. But the colors are, both companies are very well reviewed, but the colors on both of them are limited. You're not getting those like dizzy florals or whatever the hell they call them, or some sort of regal look. It's more modern. It's like plain white, slate gray, whatever. But Parachute made this sheets, a set in like a clay color. And it kind of goes with my bedroom, because my bedroom, I have like an old lady bedroom. If you came over, you'd be like, what the hell? You'd be like, how old is this girl? In my bedroom, I have wall-to-wall cream carpeting. And I have cream walls and floral curtains with tassels, because I think everything is better with tassels. And so I wanted this like kind of clay, dusty rose color sheets. Although I really only like to sleep in cool colors, but don't get me started on color theory. I have big opinions about that. So anyway, I've tried the Parachute sheets. They literally just got here. I mean, that's probably why I'm telling you. They just arrived. I didn't even get to wash them yet, but I'm excited. And by the way, that's a birthday luxury, getting to put brand new, fresh sheets on the bed. Thank you. So that's really it for the Elyse DeLucci show today. I am just busy. I'm busy. I'm busy with all of my kids' back to school stuff and their activities and the stand up and the whole thing. But you know what? I'll sleep when I'm dead. How about that? Quote of the week is from De La Vega. He's an artist in New York, and he does all the graffiti art and chalk art all over the streets. And he has this quote that I love, and I have it around my house in a couple different places, and it's this moment is more precious than you think, by De La Vega. And I like that quote because every time I read it, it just automatically pushes me into the present moment and makes me like sort of almost take a breath, not to sound corny, but like take a little breath and be like, oh, okay. Like this is life. Like this is the journey. It's the journey. There's no destinations. It's the journey. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. I love talking to you. Keep me posted on everything. And as usual, send the podcast to your friends. We're doing guests. I finally figured out how to do that. I finally figured out how to get the guests on. So that's coming up. Some of my funny friends. Stay tuned. Stay listening. Can't wait to meet you all. Talk to you. Ciao, ciao.